When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
At Evernorth Health Services, we believe costs shouldn't get in the way of life-changing care, and we're doing everything in our power to make it possible. Behavioral health solutions that also keep your projections at their best? It's possible. Pharmacy benefits that benefit your bottom line? It's possible. Complex specialty care that cares about your ROI? It's possible. Because we're already doing it. All while saving businesses billions. That's Wonder made possible. Learn more at evernorth.com/wonder.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. And today I'm going to showcase one of a entrepreneur in his business, Jeff Maine. He's founder and CEO of Pay Proudly. We'll find out what that is. It's merchant services you can trust to help your business grow and giving back. And I'm really happy to have Jeff on the show. So welcome, Jeff.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to being on your show today.
Yeah, so I know we had connected through an agent and very briefly, talk about you, what you do, how you got here, how you help the audience, services that you offer.
Yeah. So, I got into payment processing, basically when I was finishing school and, back in the late 90s and we've, I had, what I would say some of the best advice of my life. I was graduating from college and had some opportunities in the consulting world. And my dad looked at me and I had mowed lawns and washed cars, did all the young entrepreneur stuff as a young man. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, you've always wanted to work for yourself and you can always go get a job, take the risk now while you don't have a lot, of risk. You can live with us and start your own business." And so that's what I did. Summer of '99, I started my first payments business, and since that day, we've started and sold and been a part of some partnerships, and from the ACH world to the merchant processing world, and all of that morphed into Pay Proudly. What we started about 4 years ago, we had an opportunity that we were diversifying and walking away from, or separating from a partnership. And we had an opportunity to start a new company. And we just felt like the two main areas of focus of Pay Proudly needed to be that we wanted to bring clarity back to business owners in a space that there really is no clarity in. And so we want to know our customers and we want them to know us, and we want to offer real solutions. This industry is really not a one size fits all. There's different solutions for different types of businesses, and we wanted to be able to offer the correct solution for the correct business. And then we wanted to be charitable to our community. So it was in the DNA of our company, and we built it into our mission. And it's something that we do with our revenue. So we support local causes through payment processing, and we give our business owners credit for that, because without them processing with us, we would not be able to give the money that we give back. And so we try to support causes that are important to our business owners. Everybody has something. So we try to pick those causes and then give credit to the owners for that, for those donations. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about how you give back in the causes and, what's different. It's very rare to have somebody really guide you when the timing is right. A lot of people, they get, guidance, but it's kind of like, misguided. So it's great that you had this. So my one question about Pay Proudly is, what makes you different than other payment processing solutions? Like, why can't, how are you different?
I mean, I think that the main difference, obviously, there's our mission kind of speaks for itself of clarity and our charitable giving. But our big difference, that I think is the biggest differentiator is just the clarity that we bring business owners. This space, people don't understand it. People don't understand why they pay what they pay. They don't understand how they should process, how they shouldn't process. They don't understand integrations that are out there that might not be out there. I know you have a lot of medical in your listeners, and I just give one example: dental offices. there's three major dental platforms that run, dental offices. Well, we have integrations to all three of those. Those dental offices are not required to process payments within that software. There are options out there, and we walk into these dental offices and where they think there's not options, and we're saving them tons and tons of money. We have one dental office we just signed. We saved over six figures of revenue a year, and that's just on rates and fees. And so there's a lot of opportunities, and that's an integrated solution that's posting back into their practice management softwares. So there's just a lot of different things that we do. Now we're not growing for the masses. We're not one of those companies that just signs and goes. We really want to take the time to know our customers and them know us. And our attrition numbers are super low because of that. And that's a huge differentiator for us. We're not just out trying to sign everybody and anybody. We really take it personal to get to know our merchants and them know us. And that's a big separator in today's world.
Talk about like just kind of fees. What like when people sign up with Pay Proudly, what are they paying?
Yeah, so in the credit card world, we tell people, the interchange and all the background of credit card processing is a very confusing industry, right? And there's a lot that goes on. And so what we try to boil it down to for business owners is let's look at effective rates, right? So we're going to figure out all those different interchange categories that your business hits, because once you have some history, your customer base kind of stays very similar, right? So you're hitting those same interchange categories over and over and over again. But what we try to boil it down to with business owners is let's really look at what your effective rate is. What does it effectively cost you to take credit cards? And so that's what we boil it down to. And we look at how much we can save them from that effective rate. And so make it real simple, total fees divided by total volume, right? And you can come up with, it cost me 2.5% to take credit cards. So apologize, while we're on the podcast here, they decided to blow off the porch last for a second or two. It always happens that way. So that's how we handle it.
Yeah. 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 So, kind of, next, and don't worry about the, because, I also have the same issue, and, kind of like we just roll with it. So kind of, what trends do you see shaping the future of the payment processing industry? For example, a lot of, because I felt a lot of, blockchain, a lot of, payments, they're almost allowing processing fees to almost go to zero. So how do you see, PayPal in this?
So there's a lot going on in our industry of how you can surcharge customers, and bring back to the medical world. There's a lot of opportunities from surcharging, that you can surcharge a credit card but not a debit card, not a HSA card, different things, and we do all of that. We do a lot of that. So and then you've got your dual pricing, your cash prices and credit prices. And there's a lot of ways you can eliminate credit card fees today, as long as you're doing it in a compliant way. It's super important that you're compliant, because if you're not, MasterCard and Visa are handing out fines, and they do have secret shoppers that are walking in businesses and shopping, and then they're sending fines. So that is happening. It's happening because they don't want businesses to not be compliant in how they're doing it. And then alternative forms of payment. Obviously, we're staying at the front of the technology and what's going on with the big processors out there. You've got your big core processors, First Data, TSYS, Payment Tech, your big guys. And they're staying at the forefront of saying, hey, if blockchain or whatever it is becomes a avenue that we need to be setting up businesses to accept those payments, we're going to be able to do it. No different than chip cards and Apple Pay and all these new technologies and how people are paying. I think before some of that other alternative payments, we're going to become a cash, we're already kind of becoming a cashless society. And next thing, we're not even going to carry a wallet. Everything will be held in our wallets on our cell phones, and we'll use that to pay for everything. And so obviously we're out there setting up our businesses to be able to accept those forms of payment and to be in front of the technology, to where you're not saying, hey, I can't take that card. It's just as important for us as a business to enable our businesses to be able to take credit cards. I tell them, our businesses that all the time. If your machine's broke, it's just as big a deal to me. because that's our business. That's what we do. If you're not taking credit cards, we're not making any money either. So we want to be in your business and fixing things and making sure that you're able to take whatever type of payment comes your way.
Yeah. Yeah. So traditionally, so for example, traditional merchants, they have these processing terminals, and there's like a setup, there's a one time, there's a monthly, then on top of that, it's like 3% or whatever. And now people are using just kind of Venmo, PayPal, very easy stuff, and then that's still 3%. Where does Pay Proudly fit into this?
Yeah, so there is no set rates, right? So I mean, I have businesses on my portfolio that are paying less than 2%, and I have businesses that pay 3%. It's all about what type of credit cards you're taking. So you can have the exact same type of business that I have, right? But I could have a very heavy corporate, type of customer, and you could have a customer that carries a debit card, and you're going to pay less credit card fees than I'm going to pay. So, I can pull 5 credit cards out of my wallet today, and I can sell the exact same thing, and you're going to pay a different rate for each of those cards because they qualify through a different interchange category. And that's where it really gets confusing in our industry, because debit cards has its own category, and and reward cards and corporate cards, and then did you swipe it? Did you key it in? And how did you accept it? And what type of business are you? And so there's all these different, because there's one interchange category for grocery stores, where there's a different interchange category for for the retail business, and for the utility company, and for the so there's a lot that goes into this world of categories and how these cards qualify. And that's where we want to sit down with each business. And on your credit card statement, it lays it out. It's just very confusing. If you're not in this industry, you're not going to understand it. And we want to explain that to you and explain how that's working and why you pay what you pay. But these businesses that say, well, we'll just charge you a flat 3.5% or 3%, they don't make a lot on the reward on the on that corporate card, but they're making a lot on the reward card. So there's different ways to price that we can say, well, let's make the same margin on everything and let's lower their effective rate. So it's just about how you're set up and what's going on.
Yeah. Can you give some examples of where you help clients, whether they save money or, improve their margins?
Yeah. Yeah. So, bring up, the example I brought up earlier, the dental office. And, we were able to go in and integrate to their same system that they're already processing on. We were able to save them over $10,000 a month in just rates and fees. Their effective rate was over 4%. Today, their effective rate is 2.2% last month. So we cut their fees in half. They didn't change a thing. We're still integrated into their practice management system, so it's posting the payments. And we were also able to add in a feature for them to be able to do recurring payments, so they could set up payment plans for people. And we were also able to add in recurring annual memberships that's integrated back to post their payments. A lot of dental offices today are saying, hey, how about you pay a monthly membership, kind of like a concierge doctor, right? And we can manage all of that and post those payments, and we can create customers, and we can go out and bill once a year. We can bill once a month. We can bill every week. We can bill however you want to bill. Most dental offices are doing it to once a year bill, and it's for that. But we can build that as a patient in the database, and we can also bring that back in and post that payment for you in your system.
Interesting. The other question is kind of, because you talked about social responsibility. So how does that work? How are you giving back?
Yeah. So what we do is we take 10% of all of our revenue and we put it into a charitable giving account. Okay. And then we take from that account, and we know that, the local food pantry and the local animal shelters and the local cancer awareness and, different organizations are super important everywhere. And so we take our local businesses to those local organizations and we give them money. And then we do social posts around supporting these local businesses is why we were able to give this money. And so because of you doing business here, we were able to write this check to the local food pantry to provide food for the local town. So And we just shave that into a charitable giving account. And as that account builds up, we go give that money away.
Interesting. How can
That's how we-
people, if there was people listening to this and they want to
Yeah.
check out PayPal,
Yeah,
they do.
We'd love to have conversations. Payproudly.com is our website. LinkedIn, look us up. Pay Proudly is out on LinkedIn. Jeff Maine, I've got a LinkedIn account as well. Please look us up. Please give us a call. We've got an AI-driven proposal tool that's a completely free tool. We love to have conversations with anybody about their payments and bring them clarity around it. We can give you back a proposal. You can use that to get lower rates at your current processor, or you can choose to come over and do business with us. Either way is fine. But we would love to help bring clarity around your payments in your business.
Yeah, I love that. And for all the audience, let's thank Jeff for coming on and showcasing his business, and be sure to check out his socials. And thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I look forward to hearing your show and following you guys.